Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play. And I'm going to try to be quick with this intro because I want to get straight into what I want to do today. So I'm just going to talk about a couple of things I did off camera in between episodes. And it's all just stuff around the base. So first of all, you'll notice that a lot of the stone is gone now and I've replaced most of it with grass. There's still a little bit to do over there and I still want to take some of that hill out there. And there's a little bit of work to do on this hill here. But there's quite a lot of work's been done on it so far, getting rid of all of the terrain that was here and then replacing it with dirt. The thing I'm stood on right now is just part of my tree farm. So if I just mine through this tree quickly, I'll show you what's at the bottom and how this works. So it only takes a few seconds to mine through with the haste beacon. And this is how I've been collecting a lot of wood for this episode. Okay, so that only took about 15 seconds and it's given me over a stack of wood, almost a stack and a half. And now I'll just leave this here and all of the saplings will fall down from there and then just get collected into this chest down here. So that's how I've been collecting all of the wood for this episode. And it actually gave me a stack and a half of wood. So something else I've been doing is breeding up some turtles over here. As you can see, there's an egg there that it laid, but for some reason the other turtle must have despawned or something like that. I'm not really too sure what happened there. But yeah, I've managed to collect 18 eggs so far. And I'll probably just have to hatch some more turtles in there to get 2 again. So there's only a couple more things I want to talk about quickly. The first one is that I've mined down a few more layers of the base. And I've actually marked out where the first floor of the base is going to go. Or the second floor down. And then I'm going to have another gap of 10 and then another little floor like that again. All the way down to bedrock. So that actually takes quite a lot of time and I get a lot of resources from doing that. And one more thing is that I had another wither fight and I got another beacon. I didn't really record it because it was, I knew it was going to be just painful again. And it took me quite a while to kill it, but I managed to kill it. And the last thing is just a carrot farm that I've got going on over here. So I've been getting a lot of carrots. And because I've got a lot of gold, I've managed to make 2 shulker boxes full of golden carrots here. So this is the food I'm going to be living off once I run out of chicken. Because that chicken farm over there that I've got, it just doesn't really supply much chicken anymore. I'm not sure why, I think it just kind of broke in the new update. So yeah, once I've run out of chicken, I'm going to be just feeding off golden carrots for the rest of the series. Okay, so now I can get into the project I want to be doing today. I did mention it in the last episode that I wanted to build a mob farm. So it's mostly for gunpowder because these are all of the rockets that I've got left now. But I also need quite a lot of bones and stuff like that, so it's just going to be useful to make a mob farm over a witch farm for now. And these are the materials that I got together in between episodes. So these grey ones are just full of stone, which I got loads of stone from digging this out here, so that one no problem. The magma blocks don't take too long to collect, but I went to the nether, I got 3 shulkers full of these. I also got some rails. I've gone for mostly powered rails because I've got a lot of gold. I don't really have too much iron, so I didn't want to waste it all on rails. Plenty of glass, this is way more than I'm going to use, and a little bit of scaffolding. Plenty of wood as well, because I'm going to be making a lot of chests and buttons. And then just a few other things that are going to be useful. The fire resistance is for when I'm placing the magma blocks, so I can just walk on there with no problem. And just stuff like that, a little bit of redstone. So I think what I'm going to do now is just pick up all of these shulker boxes and head over to where I'm going to be building the thing. Okay, so I'm over here now and I've just started laying out where the farm's going to go. All my materials are down there. And I thought I'd try and do this in a bit of a tutorial kind of fashion, just in case anybody wants to copy this design. So I'm going to try and explain all of the measurements and stuff here quickly. So this is the centre block right here that I'm standing on. And if you count out all of the spruce wood, there's exactly 20 planks there. And then there'll be 20 on this side as well, 20 on each side, so it's a perfect square. And then on the 21st block, that is where the first stone brick is. And then this, from that corner to that corner, that is 41 blocks. So there's the centre block there. And then 20 blocks out that way, and 20 blocks out that way. And that's the same on every single side there. So this is a big 41 by 41 by 41 by 41 square. And if you count out the side here, so from that very corner block there to the corner block up there, that is 27 blocks. So this here is a big 27 by 41 rectangle. So if you know those measurements, you should be able to build exactly what I've got here. So the next step to this farm, I'm going to get some fire resistance and some magma blocks out. And what I'm going to be doing is just filling in every single one of these rectangles, all of the blocks, just with magma blocks. So it's a lot easier if you just have fire resistance, and then you can just walk on top of these blocks if you need to. But yeah, I'm just going to fill in all 4 of these rectangles with magma blocks. So I actually forgot to mention that if you are going to build this farm, you can build it on whatever Y level you want, all the way down to bedrock. I can start it at whatever Y level you want, but this platform here can't go any higher than the level I'm on now, which is 195. And that's because above here you're going to have a 30 block drop from all of the platforms, and then once all the platforms are done, that will be the build limit on Bedrock Edition. So yeah, the 195 is the highest you can possibly build this platform. But I think if you build it lower down, you will get more efficient rates, but you'll have to do some lighting up in the caves and stuff like that to make sure nothing else spawns around. So all of the magma blocks are now in place, and I just made a little bit of a platform going around here. This is made out of half slab, so nothing spawns on it, and it's just to give me a little bit of room for redstone later on. I'm just going to quickly show you how many magma blocks I used. So I used 2 full shulker boxes full, and then about an extra 7 stacks here as well. So if you wanted to collect the magma blocks to build the farm, that's how many you're going to need. The next step is to add in the glass. So I'm just going to head over to this one here, and you can make this as high as you want, but I recommend at least 2, just so when all of the mobs drop down onto the magma blocks, if any land like near the edge here, they will not get knocked over onto the stone brick. And then if they're on the stone brick, it won't get picked up by the minecart hoppers. So all of the items have to stay on the magma blocks. So I'm just going to make a glass wall all the way around each rectangle like this. So around the corner, all the way around, and then back to the middle. And that's going to be the same for all 4 of these sides. And this is how it should look once all of the glass is in place. I have left out one little bit of glass on each side, and that's just so I've got easy access into the magma block area. Once the farm's done, then I'll fill that back in there. Now the next step to this farm is to fill in all of the rails on the magma blocks, and this is going to be the minecart system to pick up all of the mob drops once they are on the magma blocks. Now this is probably the most annoying part to do with the whole farm, so I'm just going to quickly go ahead and sort it out off camera, and then I'll come back and show you the way that I've done it. But there is quite a few different ways you can do it, so you don't need to copy my way exactly here. I've started off placing the rails here, and I've just missed out the middle part for now, just so I can explain how I've been doing it. And you can do this however you like, but I do suggest like breaking it up into different sections like I've done. Because if you just had one long rail going from one side and up and down all the way to the other side, a lot of the items would probably despawn by the time the minecart picked them up. So this is the way I would suggest doing it. So what I've got here is 3 sections of 13. Because if you count the blocks, the magma blocks from this side all the way over to the other side, if you've done it how I've done it, it should be 39 across. So that's 3 equal sections of 13. And then I've just got a little minecart unloader here. There's also one there. And of course I'm going to build one here once I've got these rails in as well. So this is pretty simple. It's just a comparator going into the block, coming out of this hopper here, with a redstone torch on top, and that goes into this block here with some dust on here. So it's pretty simple. And then that just means that every time there's items in this hopper here, it will all unpower and the minecart will stay there. So if I just put a minecart here, push it along, and if I throw a few items down on the tracks here, it will pick it up, and it'll stop up there until all of the items are in the chest, and then it will go back. So that's a pretty simple redstone there. And then once it gets to this side up here, I've just got a little rail going up into the glass. And that means the minecart will go up here and then go straight back down and then all the way back over to the thing. And I'll just show you quickly how I've done this. So if I get some rails out, you need 2 rails like this. Place one there, place one where the glass is, break the glass, and then you need the glass back to put on top of there. Just like this. So it's pretty simple there. And that just means that when the minecart comes up here, it goes straight back down like that. And one more thing before I get on to finishing the rails, is that all of these rails are powered, but you don't really need to use this many powered rails. You could just use normal rails if you have more iron than gold. But the way I've powered all these is underneath I've got some redstone torches, which I'll show you in a second. But you could just use some redstone blocks on here and replace the magma blocks if you really needed to. But I don't really have that much redstone, so instead I've done this with the redstone torches underneath, like you can see here. It's not the best view, but this is enough redstone to power all of the rails. So what I'm going to do now is just finish off the platform here with the rails, and get the minecart unloader in, and copy this exact thing on all of the other sides, and then we can get on to the next step, which is where the mobs will be spawning on the platforms. So all of the rails are now in place, and you can see all the minecarts going up and down doing the job. And I forgot to mention earlier that the reason I use magma blocks here is just in case any of the mobs survive the drop from up in the platform, so it'll be up here somewhere. So now and again the mobs just don't die from 30 blocks, I'm not too sure why, but the magma blocks just do a little bit more damage to them and that's how they die. But you can use other blocks just like normal stone or wood or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But you'll just have to go around and kill a few mobs now and again by hand. And this just means that all of the mobs get killed eventually. But anyway, the next thing, or the next step to this farm, is I've already done 3 of them here. But you want to go up 30 blocks from the bottom there. So that platform's on 195 and this platform here is 225, so 30 blocks up. And then you want to go 24 blocks out. So I've got 24 planks in my hand here. So you want to go 24 blocks out, which I'll do quickly now. Okay, so this is 24 blocks here, the 24th block, and then on the 25th block you want to place whatever you're going to make your spawning platforms out of, which I'm going to use stone brick because I've got loads of it. So I've done the exact same on all of these sides. And then this is where you're going to start doing the platform, which I'm going to build in a second and then I'll show you how it looks. But these blocks here are all just temporary blocks, so it doesn't really matter what you use, you'll be destroying it at some point anyway. So I'm just going to quickly get on to building this first platform, and then I'll show you the design that I've used. The first spawning platform's now in place, and I'll just pillar up a little bit here so you get a better view. You can't really see it all in one shot here, but I'll just remove that. And you get quite a good view there, so you should be able to copy that pretty easily. But it's just one big grid, and there's a central line going down the middle, and then it goes 4 across, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then each hole is a 3x3. This just means that all of the mobs can fit down the hole, even spiders, and there's no trouble getting blocked or anything like that. Because sometimes if it's a 2x2 they don't go straight down, but a 3x3 then you have no problems there. So if I just head down here, I'll show you the next step of the farm, which is probably the most annoying for me. It takes a long time and it's not the most fun thing to do. But you want to place buttons on the side of every single block like this. And this is all the way up the sides, all of these inside. You see there's mob spawning already. Just every single side block you want to be placing buttons. And then once I've done that, I'll be back. All of the buttons are now in place. So if any more mobs spawn on this platform here, they'll see the buttons as a full block and they'll just walk straight off the edge and then fall down to the death down there, and all of the loot will be collected in the chests. So that's the concept of the farm. It's quite a simple design, but it does use quite a lot of materials, as you'll see. But yeah, the next step is to start the next platform. So if I pillar up a few here, I'm going to do platforms of 2 high, like this. You can make the platforms 3 high, but I don't really want enderman spawning in this. It's more efficient if you do it smaller, I think. So I don't really want the enderman spawning and falling down, getting ender pearls when I've already got so many. So yeah, this is the second layer here, and all you do is just copy the exact layout of the bottom layer here, and then all of the buttons as well. And what I'm going to be doing is going up 10 layers. So this is 2, and I'm going to be going up another 8 after this. And I'm also going to do the exact same on all of the other sides as well. So it's probably going to take me a few hours, but I'll see you in a second once I've done that. So I finished recording all of the clips on how to build the farm. But when I watched some of the clips back, I realised that there was no audio on a few of them when I started doing the roof. So I'm just going to come over here onto this creative world and show you how I did the roof quickly. It's probably easier to explain on here anyway. So this is the shape of the farm here with the stone bricks. So we'll just pretend this is the top layer of the farm. And what you want to do is go 2 blocks above the layer. So 1, 2, and then on the 3rd block you'll place that iron block there, or any solid block. You probably won't use iron. I just use stone brick on my survival world. And from this block here, you just want to follow the farm all of the way around. So this here should be 33 blocks long to here. And then if you come up this side here, it should be 19 blocks long. So this is just a big rectangle that follows the farm all of the way around. Then once you've got that, you can come to any corner, and then you want to count out 15 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you want to do that on each corner in both ways, which I've done there. And then as you'll see here, you just want to connect all of the corners together. So diagonally across here, and then it'll be straight along these sides, and diagonal and straight all of the way around. And this is the shape you should end up with here. So you will have to do these out of any solid blocks you want. And then once you've done the outline like this, you then need to fill in all of this area. I'm not going to do that right now because it's going to take a long time to do. But just fill in all of this area with some kind of solid blocks. And all of the areas in there as well. And then the last step is to make it spawn proof. And the best way to do that is just to put half slabs all the way along here. And all of the areas that you've filled in. And it does take quite a while, but it definitely increases the efficiency of the farm. And because the farms are quite close together like this is how they'll be in the survival world. And there'll be another one there and another one there. The roofs do overlap a little bit in the middle here, but that's absolutely fine. And this is what it should look like once you've got all 4 of the roofs in place. I think the dark part is just a lighting glitch, which I'm sure will get fixed eventually. It's no big deal anyway. And all of the farms are in place down here, with all of the platforms, all of the buttons. I did underestimate the amount of wood that this farm was going to take. So I only brought 1 shulker box of wood, and I ended up using 3 full shulker boxes of wood for all of the buttons, and then all of the slabs up here as well. So that's just something to bear in mind if you do want to build this farm. I'm just going to jump down here quickly and I'll show you what I've got going on. So I have set up a nether portal here. It's just an easy way to get here from my base, with a little tunnel inside the nether. And this is the design I want to go for with the black stone bricks and the quartz pillars. I'm not too sure about the floor yet, maybe carpet or something like that. And then these sections here that I've missed out are all for chests. These doorways are just to come out here to see all of the redstone which I'm going to build. So I need to get all of these chests getting automatically filtered into those chests there. And then I'm not really too sure what to do here yet, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. And I'm going to keep the scaffolding in the middle here, because this is the way to get up to the AFK spot. So this is the AFK spot right here. It's level with the bottom platform, 30 above the platform down there. And I think this is like the optimal place to stand to get the best rates out of the farm. And you see right there, there's actually a skeleton that managed to survive the drop, but he's taken damage and now he's died from the magma blocks. So that's the reason you use magma blocks down here over just normal bricks or something like that. And this farm is quite efficient because I keep clearing out all of the gunpowder from these chests, but then every time I go back there's always another stack or so of gunpowder in each chest. But I did take all of it out and I've been using it for something which I'm about to get onto now, and that's going to involve me going into the nether. For anyone who didn't see the last episode, I came down here to the nether and I mined out all of this area by hand, I went through quite a lot of pickaxes and it took me a few hours to do, and I only managed to find 30 ancient debris overall in all of this area. So I decided to change up the method a little bit and I used a bed method instead. So I mined all the way down here a few hundred blocks, and every 10 blocks I placed a bed on each side and blew them up, and this is all of the mess it made. I think from all of that, and then I did 2 more tunnels, one there and one there, I managed to find 110 ancient debris overall. So that was much more efficient than just mining out this big area. So what I want to do right now is try out a different method, and I'm sure most of you know what it is now, but I stayed AFK at the mob farm overnight and I got a lot of gunpowder. I went to the desert and spent a little bit of time mining some sand, and I managed to get a full shulker box of TNT. So I don't think I'll use all of this in today's episode, but I do want to try and get through at least a little bit of it. So the plan is to come to one of these things here. I've already made a platform to go up to get to here, and then I just want to dig in a straight line, maybe a few hundred blocks again, and once I've got all the way to the end, I'm going to come and place a TNT every 2 blocks I think, so I'll leave a 1 gap, place another TNT all the way down. So that's the plan, and I'll probably just time lapse this, and hopefully this is more efficient than the bed method. So that took just over an hour, and I've got 3 big tunnels here, and each tunnel goes back about 500 blocks. And in that time, I managed to get just over 2 stacks of ancient debris. So this method is definitely more efficient than the bed method. I've still got quite a lot of the TNT left as well, so I could easily go and get more if I wanted to right now. But I'm going to save this for a later day. I've also got a little bit of ancient debris and netherite in here. This is from, most of it's from the last episode, and some of it is from in between episodes when I went mining off camera for some. If I do ever come mining for ancient debris ever again, I will definitely be using the TNT method over the bed method. It is more expensive to do, but I'd definitely say it's more efficient. I smelted up all of the ancient debris that I had in here, and all of the stuff I had in here as well. And I've made it all into netherite ingots here. And if I craft it up, I can get 7 blocks. So this is a good start, but I'm going to need a lot more of the stuff if I'm going to collect 1 stack of every single item in the game. So I'm going to have to spend quite a lot of time in the nether in other episodes, but that's enough of the nether for today. So I'm back over here at the mob farm, and I've got a night vision potion on right now just so you can see what's going on a little bit better, because it is usually quite dark under here. I've got a lot of progress to show you. So all of these are just item transport systems and item elevators, and it all just sorts all of the items out into those chests down there. So I'm just going to jump down and I'll try to explain it. Now it does all look a lot more complicated than it actually is, but if I just head over to one of these here, I'll show you what's going on. So the items come up here into the minecart unloader, and before there was going into a double chest, but I've changed it up so now the items get filtered out over here into the dropper. Any items that get put into the droppers will get shot out instantly like this, and that's by using a simple dropper clock right here. So all of the items that get shot out follow water streams, and all of the water streams end up over here at this item elevator. So half of the items come this way around the farm, down here, and then along here into this item elevator here. And half of the items go the other way around the farm, so start over in that corner over there, come down that side, and then down here, and then round the bend here, and into the elevator. And there's this one in the corner, which just has its own little stream, and goes and meets up with this one, and goes into the item elevator here. So once the items are at the top of the elevator, they'll get carried along by the water, and go into the item filters here. So I've set up quite a few filters around here. And it's a very simple design. As you'll see here, it's a design by Impulse SV, and he made it a long time ago, and it's the one I always go to and use when I've got a sorting system that I want to do. So you'll see it just uses a comparator, a repeater, a redstone torch, and 3 redstone dust for each little section. Now you can put as many of these together as you want. So I'm quickly just going to jump down here and I'll show you the filters that I've got going on. So the first 3 here you'll see is glass bottles, sticks, and spider eyes. So I stayed AFK here overnight, and I've got a few stacks of glass bottles, quite a lot of sticks, and some spider eyes here. I probably won't really use the spider eyes, but I'll use the glass bottles for potions and the sticks for torches and bow and arrows and stuff like that to make dispensers. So next up I've got gunpowder. So the gunpowder and the bones both have 3 columns each, and that's because these are the items I'm going to be using the most. So I think the gunpowder is filled up to here. So 3 double chests and then about 8 stacks more. I think the bones have filled up to about the same place, a little bit higher actually. So I've got 4 double chests and then 6, almost 7 stacks. So I've got plenty of gunpowder and bones, and these are going to be the most useful things throughout the series. Obviously the gunpowder for TNT and fireworks, and the bones for bone meal for a lot of different farms. Now in the middle here I've got string. I made 2 for string because it's probably the 3rd most useful thing the farm produces. And I've got it like this with 1 here and 1 there just to keep the symmetry really. And string I've got about 3 double chests I think, and then a little bit more. 4 double chests actually, and then the 5th one is completely empty for now. And then in the middle here I've got the arrows. Now, I really don't need the arrows, but I just thought I'll make 1 column for arrows just in case I ever do need them. So I've got 2 double chests and then almost a 3rd double chest full there. And the last 3 things here, the redstone, which obviously is quite useful, but the farm doesn't really produce too much of it. Glowstone, obviously useful for lighting, and I'm not too sure why I'm keeping the sugar, but the sugar gets filtered out into here anyway. So if I just head up here, I'll show you what happens if the items don't get filtered out. So the items come along here, this is the last filter here for the sugar, and they'll get carried along here, and go into 2 more filters right here. So I've got rotten flesh here and arrows, and all of the items get filtered out into here, will go into the dropper right there and get shot straight into lava. So obviously the rotten flesh will never get used, so that's why this is here. And the reason the arrows are here as well is because out of all of the item filters here and all of the chests, the arrows are probably the only one that's going to get full. I've got plenty of storage for bones and gunpowder, and everything else I'm probably not ever going to get enough to fill the chests up. So arrows are the only one that I think will get full, and that means that if the arrows come round here, they'll get sucked up into there and get shot into the lava. Now if there's any items that come through here and they don't get picked up by the hopper somehow, like maybe the hopper is full for like the bones or something like that, so it can't get picked up the first time around, those will go straight over here. They'll miss these filters here, they'll just go straight over the top, and they will get filtered down here and go straight down into the water stream again, and then they'll make the way back around, up the elevator, and then back into the sorting system, and hopefully they'll get picked up the second time around. So you can see that happening right now. The string didn't get picked up the first time around, so it's gone straight around here, and it's going to go back around the system, and then back up, and then the second time round it should get picked up. So as you'll see here, there's some string coming back around, and this time it will get picked up by the filter. I'm not entirely sure why it doesn't always get picked up, but that's why I've got the loop to go back around and then come back up, and then the second time everything should definitely get picked up. So I do want to try and completely finish this project in today's episode, and there's a couple more things I need to do around here first. You probably noticed that I've done the floor, so I went for the basalt look. This is polished basalt, and they keep facing in different directions to give this little pattern here. And I like the way that looks with the quartz and the black stone here. I haven't even started the roof yet, and I'm not too sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm sure I can figure something out. I also need to try and find a way to light the place up without using torches around the place, because nobody wants to use torches in the middle of the floor. And the last thing I want to do is try and do something with these walls here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, but I don't just want to have blank walls like this. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a quick jump cut, and I'll come back to when the whole thing is done. Just like that, the farm is completely finished. All of the interior design is done. And I've tried to keep the same blocks into the roof here. So I've used a few quartz pillars and the black stone, but I have added some quartz bricks here. I think that looks nice next to the black stone bricks. And for lighting, I've gone for some solar lanterns on chains, but that doesn't really produce much lighting. So as you can see here, there's some carpet, and I've just got some glowstone underneath all of these carpets. You probably notice that the scaffolding has gone from the middle of the room, and that's because I've got this up here. I've got a bubble elevator to go all the way up to the top, and this will push you along, or you can just walk along here to the red carpet, and that's where you stand if you want to go AFK. So there's some lighting underneath here as well, just to keep it nice and bright up here. And I've put the carpets down just to make sure nothing spawns. And these up here are half slabs, so nothing can spawn on the roof either. And to get back down, just jump straight down here, and you're back in the room. So over on these sides, I decided to have a little bit more storage. So over here I've got the wool. So I've been turning a lot of the string into wool blocks and storing the wool over here. And then on this side I've got bone blocks. So obviously I'm turning a lot of the bones into bone blocks, because the only real use for bones is bone meal anyway. So I'll be turning a lot of these into bone meal. So I did need a crafting table in here to craft up all of the bone blocks, and wherever I put it, it just looked ugly and out of place. So I decided to put it under here, out of the way. You can't really see it too much, and it's kind of hard to reach, but you can get in there and then craft as many bone blocks as you need. And I have still got loads of bones left in here. So it's 3 full chests and a little bit more up there. And the last couple of things I've done, I added ender chests here. I wanted at least one ender chest in this room, so I added some little shelves for them to go on here at each side of the nether portal. I think that looks quite good. And then with these walls here, I decided to just make it into a door to go out to all of the redstone, just to see if everything's working and what's going on back here. And you can just get straight back in through the other side if you need to. And to break up the wall a little bit up here, I just added some chiseled black stone. I did the same on these sides as well. And I kind of like how all of this turned out. But anyway, this project completely finished now, and I've got through everything that I wanted to do in this episode, so I'm going to end it here. If you liked the episode, make sure to leave a like down below. Leave a comment, like if you built this farm on your own world and it's efficient for you, like let me know. And I'll see you all next time.